Yeah, we're about to go live here. Okay. Thank you, buddy.
Okay. You told Jimmy use break.
What's up? What's up, everybody? I've got everybody muted here for a second, just so it don't sound too crazy. All right. All right. Let me get Stacy. I'm gonna set you up as a co-host so you can admit people in. Actually, Jen Decker, I'm gonna make you the co-host because me and Stacy are both gonna be talking. So Jen, if you don't mind, I'm going to make you the co-host. And then you'll see people in the waiting room. And then you can let them in. So, or Stacy, can you see people in the waiting room too, or no?
I got it. Yeah, I can.
Okay, okay, cool. All right. Oh, it's kind of popping up a notice on here, so that's cool. All right, what's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. If you want, instead of me unmuting everybody and it just sounding crazy, if you want to unmute yourself and say hi, go for it. If you're shy like Mark Beasley, and you don't want to talk, I get it, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Happy
Sasha knows.
Thursday.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, how's it going?
Great. Sorry I'm late. The link
No,
in the
you're good, bro.
calendar didn't work.
It's all
So
good.
all good.
It's all good in the hood.
Now that I said hi, I'll turn my mute.
Okay. Cool. Let's wait here a minute for to see if anybody else jumps in and then we'll go for it. Stacy and Garth, how's the travels going? Where are you guys at right now?
Kentucky. So we got to meet with Carmen again today. We went to the Kentucky Horse Park. That was a lot
Oh,
of fun.
nice. Awesome.
I'm excited. We have 19 people in the Zoom tonight so far. So it should be a good night.
Sweet. I thought you were gonna say we have 19 people signed up for Tampa, but that's pretty close number two, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. I think
Yeah.
18. So
Awesome. We're gonna have to throw something really crazy in there, like, well, I'll go skydiving together or something.
I thought the tattoos was crazy enough, right?
Oh, that's right. We were gonna, yeah. But then we realized my idea wasn't that cool because I thought we'd all get flame tattoos, but then like it just, I don't know. I don't know what kind of message we'd send.
Our little fireside gang.
Uh-huh. Exactly. All right. I'd say let's just go ahead and go for it. Fireside cult, Jen says. And then who is this? Hey, Tanya. Hey, Rhoda. Monica, Matt. How y'all doing?
Hey Gar, how you doing? Hey everyone.
I'm happy. Do we get to see you or no? You get extra points if we get to see your face. The only one who won't show themselves is Jen Decker. She stopped showing her face ever since COVID, and I just can't get her to turn her camera on. I think she got some tattoos on her face. Jen, LOL. Oh, she's not even talking. She's typing. Dang. I might have to like call her privately after this, make sure I'm not in trouble. You know, Jen's like fireside mama. She's been with me since I started in 2016. Jen's been with me longer than I've been with me because there was like a year and a half where I kind of was like just traveling the country and checked out and doing my own thing. And Jen Decker and Tammy, they were just running Fireside. So Jen has been with Fireside longer than I have. Is that your like backdrop there, Stacy, or is that actually your camper behind you?
No, it's just a backdrop. This is where we are parked right now, though.
Oh, okay. It kind of looks like you're like sitting at a picnic table and your RV's behind you.
No, it's a little bit darker than this outside right now.
Okay. That makes sense. Caitlin, I'm going to need a hoodie for sure. Yeah, I just got these. You like them? I got a whole bunch of stuff in my sauna room out here. I got these big mugs that I had made. I've got a whole bunch of things I've been ordering and getting made up for Tampa. Stacy, you probably been doing stuff too, and we're not even comparing notes, so we're just going to show up with like totes and totes of swag.
Nothing yet, because it's hard to ship stuff to myself right now, so we're good.
Oh, that's true. Well, you ship it to me. It's all good. All right. Well, I'm excited to hang out with y'all tonight. We were doing this every week in the summer, and then we kind of took a little breather once we stepped into fall, but we've just had so many new people joining Fireside. We thought, all right, we got to get back to these meetings. So yeah, I'm excited to meet with you guys tonight. Does anybody have an idea what I'm going to talk about when I say implementation and unification? Raise your hand or unmute yourself and say something if you got a guess. Oh, Sam's coming in. Nobody's got a guess? Implementation and unification? Tanya, I think I saw Tanya in here. Yep, Tanya should know. I didn't use these words with Tanya, but me and Tanya had a talk a while ago. Me and Mickey and Dana had a talk a while ago. Me and Mark and Christine had a talk. I've had several of these talks the last couple months, Stacy and I and some franchisees, and we thought, all right, let's come on and teach about implementation and unification. So I'll go ahead and jump right into it. So implementation, and basically what this is there's 4 levels of value that we can offer to the marketplace, to the world. And based on these levels of value, you're doing different things and you're getting compensated differently. And so the lowest level of value that somebody can offer is the level of implementation. And basically what the implementation is, that's the person that's doing the work. Does that make sense? So that's the guy with the shovel. That's Tanya in Texas at 110 degrees cleaning campers. That's Mark delivering RVs till 1 a.m. That's Mickey out doing what Mickey's doing, getting in trouble with Dana. Okay, that's implementation. Does that make sense? Like wave in the screen if that makes sense to you when I say that. Implementation, the lowest level.
Well, doing the thing, right, Tanya?
Doing the thing. Yeah, it's doing the thing. Okay. And then the next level of value up is unification. And that's managing. That's hiring people, that's managing people, that's systems, that's processes. That's the second level of value. Does that make sense to everybody? Wave at me if you know what I'm talking about. Hey, Joey Basta. The third level of value is communication. And that's where you're sharing messages. So people that are communicators are politicians, are podcasts, are singers, are writers of books. Right now, I'm communicating, I'm sharing a message. And hopefully, when you're in the level of communication, you're sharing a message that inspires, encourages people, and moves them to action. That's the third level of value. Hi, Christine. Christine's
There
one of
we
my
go.
favorite
Hi, Christine. Here's my better half.
No.
people.
I'll catch her up. Okay.
That is a third level. Does that make sense to everybody? Wave your hand. Communication. All right, we're cruising right along. And then the fourth level of value is imagination. Okay. I just thought of that as I was saying that. That's God. That's the ideas, right? That's speaking things into existence. That's Elon Musk. That's whoever that dude is that did the iPhone. I don't know. I'm not in the Apple cult. What is that
Steve
called?
Jobs.
Steve Jobs. That's Steve Jobs, right? That's imagination. That's the highest level of value that somebody can offer. They're literally creating, you know, fireside RV. God showing me the idea to start a business renting other people's RVs. That was imagination. God was the imagination in that, not me. He's the one who thought of it. So anyway, we're going to talk about the first two levels a little bit. We won't go into level 3 and level 4, but we're going to talk about the first two levels a little bit. So with that being said, Stacy, why don't you go ahead and throw some thoughts out in regards to basically what we've been talking about with Tanya and Mark and several others, implementation versus unification, and just kind of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I know this concept is from like the Boss Moves book by Myron Golden. And we actually read this for the book club, I don't know, maybe like 6 months ago. So I've touched on some of this before, but yeah, there it is. So, basically like with Garr was saying with the first level, we want to make sure that we're removing ourselves from a lot of those day-to-day activities like cleaning, driving the campers, so that we have time to do the higher level things. So in this case, you want to take yourself out of the day-to-day items to bring yourself to the second level, which is the management, so that you're managing your staff, be your drivers and cleaners. So then you can focus on the items in your business that are actually going to make you money, which will be getting more rental units, building those relationships with local campgrounds and, event promoters, bringing that money into the business instead of doing those tasks that anyone can do.
Yeah, and just to defend all y'all that we're talking to right now, many of you guys out here, it's your first year. So your first year, you're doing a lot of those things, right? Because you're learning the business. So you've got to learn the business before you can step into unification as far as teaching the business, because you can't teach someone to do something you don't know how to do yet or you haven't done. So I just want to let you guys know in regards to that, that's all good. It's your first year, you do those things, right? You're doing the cleaning, you're doing the deliveries, you're doing the day-to-day, you're learning the business. But year one is done for a lot of you guys. So now stepping into fall and getting ready for year two, this is where you're really going to want to shift your focus as far as building up your database of cleaners and drivers. And let me actually back up a step though, because when you started, and we'll probably do this in Tampa, Stacy did this last winter. We did the vision boards together. And I think it's really important because we all have different visions. We all have different end goals, so sorry, I got distracted by Josh Burns' little cutie pie there. So bad. I love kids. So anyway, we have different visions and goals, right? So with that being said, you might love delivering campers. Like that is what fires you up. Like you're meeting the renters, you get to watch the kids run through the RVs and pick which bed they're going to sleep in and all the things and show them all the buttons and how it all works. Like that might be the thing you like to do. That's fine. If that's the thing you like to do, or most people that come into the fireside environment, they're wanting to fire their boss. They're wanting to build a business to where they can free up time to be with their family more, to make all the sporting events, to do the traveling, to participate in church more and the community, different things like that. So if that's the end goal, which typically that is for most people, right? We want time. We want our time back. If that's the goal, then that's where the systems, the people, the processes and stuff have to be put in place. And then Stacy, I'm going to stop. We're going to run this like we do our podcast. So I'm done talking now. So you go ahead and back me up, Stacy.
Yeah, I mean, we are definitely guilty of all of that in our first year as well. Garth is saying our second year too, but I did hire cleaners our second year. But I mean, even, in our third and fourth year, Garth does, like, he was used to driving all the time in his previous job. He just drove every day. So that was something that didn't bother him. So he still managed most of the deliveries. And then, days that we had multiple deliveries or pickups, that's when we would hire out with additional drivers. But with me, I didn't enjoy cleaning. It didn't, give me any joy whatsoever. So that's something that I was able to outsource and free up my time so I could spend more time during the day with the kids or work on taking inquiries, things that I felt like were actually helping the business. But yeah, I mean, to this day, Garth will deliver any camper anywhere. Like, it's just something he doesn't mind doing.
Except for your last minute ones.
Yeah, except for last minute rentals.
Oh yeah, those are the crazy ones. Yeah. Yeah, and I enjoy doing it too. I would pick the rentals that I wanted to deliver and bring a kid and stuff like that. And so yeah, I agree. So it's you're doing it because you want to do it, not because you have to. Right. And at the end of the day, there's only a couple job positions in this business, right? You've got somebody who's cleaning RVs, somebody who's delivering, doing walkthroughs, and you got somebody who's fixing the things. And then, four. And then you've got somebody who's answering the inquiries, this and that, which really that should be your main focus, in my opinion, is inquiries and building your business. That should be what your main focus is that, and a couple notes that I wrote down here. Well, I just had last week, I was talking to Mickey and Dana. I was talking to Mickey and Dana, and which I've had several of these conversations lately. Garr, we're stressed. This is not fun. We're not excited. What do we do? And so I got on with Mickey and Dana. And first, I call the teapot. That's what I call when I let my wife unload on me. I let her empty her teapot. So first, I let Dana, empty her teapot for about 20 minutes and tell me all the things that was going on and the stresses and this and that, and upset renters and all the different things. And then what we did is we picked one objective, because a lot of times, right, when you're going through the fast track framework or whatever, just going through your day, there's so many things that get thrown at you. You need to pick, okay, what is my main goal right now? What is my main goal? What am I really trying to accomplish? Am I trying to set up my storage? Am I trying to find a couple drivers? Like, what is my main goal? So we decided with Dana and Mickey, their main goal was they needed to find a storage facility closer to them. Okay. And so we started talking about that. And then what happened, and hopefully Dana doesn't mind me using her as an example, since she's not on here. So Dana, I apologize. And then what we started talking about was we went back to all the things. Well, and then this renter the other day, and then this and that, right? It just snowballs. And so we said, okay, but remember, our one goal right now is to think about getting storage. Let's focus on that. Let's get storage. And what I encouraged Dana on was something I heard a couple months ago in this course I was in, and it says, everything you need, and Tanya, let me know if I said this to you too, everything you need already exists. You're just not aware of it yet. Did I say that to you, Tanya? Okay. Yeah, when
Sorry,
I heard that,
keep
okay.
forgetting to turn it on.
Oh, no worries. So I heard that a couple months ago, and it just blew my mind. Like, everything that you need already exists. You're just not aware of it yet. And then to take this over to kind of a biblical standpoint right now, something that's been blowing my mind for like 6 months is, I was just talking to my kids about it yesterday, because they're talking about something and this and that. And I said, guys, think about this. When God created the heavens and the earth, he literally put every single thing that was needed either in the ground or in seed form to sustain the earth until he returns. like, think of that. Like, picture your vehicle, Natasha, picture your really cool Jeep that you have. Every single piece and part from that Jeep came from the ground. Like, that blows my mind. How amazing. And look at the things we're creating, right? We're making rocket ships and satellites and all these things. When God put all those things in the first couple of days, literally all those things were there. All things needed to sustain life until the end. So as Dana and I were talking about this, and she, starting to get encouraged, then what happened is I said, Dana, picture what it's going to look like once you have this storage facility closer to your house, right? So I started to help Dana paint this picture in her mind, and she started to get excited, right? She started to get this sense of anticipation. And what happens when we start to get this sense of anticipation and excitement, guess what our minds start doing? Our minds start getting resourceful, and our minds literally, whatever we tell our mind to do, it's going to do. If we tell our mind, hey, I don't feel good today, our mind's literally going to start telling us all the reasons why we don't feel good. We tell our mind, hey, today's going to be a great day and I'm going to make some amazing connections and talk to some amazing people. Guess what? We're going to start looking around for amazing connections and amazing people. So me, Dana, Mickey, we started getting excited together and thinking about what it's going to look like once they have the storage facility by them. And then what happened? Mickey goes, oh, wait, that's right. There's this guy I talked to, like, I forget what he said, 2 months ago. He has an RV dealership that's like 2 miles from us, and they have a ton of property. He's like, oh, wait, I forgot. That's right. And so we got excited together and we started talking through this. Okay, well, what does this look like then? What would that be if you were partnered there? And so, right, all the excitement, all the emotions, all the things happened. Mickey just texted me 2 days ago. He went into the dealership. He presented that to the RV dealership, and they said, yeah, move all your RVs over here. Not only can you store them all here, we'll service all them for you and give you guys priority. Like, we'll partner with you. So literally several birds were killed with one stone. I don't know if I like that saying, but anyway, it is what it is. So sorry, Stacy, I go off on these rants sometime. If you guys ever listen to our podcast, it's me talking 80% of the time, and then I forget Stacy's there, and I'm like, oh, Stacy, wait, what do you want to say?
No, you're on a roll. It's good stuff. No, I mean, going along with the goals, I'd say like set micro goals too. So each day, like I write down the 3 things I want to get accomplished for that day. So, in Garr's example, if you're looking to get a new storage facility, then one of those 3 things should be, reaching out to 3 storage facilities in your area, or, doing research for 1 hour and making a list of storage facilities. So, those are easy wins if you set those micro goals, because then you can get that done in that one day, and you accomplish something, and then you can move on to the next thing. So I find that's really important in my day. And it could be with, you're looking to grow your fleet. So reaching out to 10 people a day on Facebook that are selling their RV to try to get more units into your fleet. So just those little micro goals I feel like are going to be really helpful as well.
Yeah. What's interesting too, of going from, 1 second here. My brain just stopped working. Going from implementation to unification is really, once you leave the lowest level, the value ladder, the actual physical labor, if you think about it, the next levels, they all have to do with talking, right? Communication, unification, you're managing people, you're talking to people, you're directing people. Communication, you're sharing the message, you're talking to people. Imagination, you're dreaming the ideas, and then you're casting these visions and ideas to people. And I don't know if I shared this with you guys lately, but I just had this revelation. Oh, I think it was at my men's Bible study the other week. So as believers, what's the Great Commission, right? It's to go into all the world and make disciples. And how do we do that? We do that by sharing the gospel. How do we share the gospel? We do that by talking, right? And most believers, like, that freaks them out, going out and sharing the gospel. Okay, so that's on the spiritual side. On the natural side, do you know what the #1 fear of human beings is? Like, raise your hand if you know what the #1 fear of human being is. go ahead and unmute it once and say what the number one fear is, somebody.
All right.
Failure.
Public
Failure.
speaking.
Fear of failure.
Rejection,
Public speaking.
rejection,
Failure.
Yeah,
Public
well,
speaking.
Fear
the number one fear is public speaking. The number two fear is dying. You know, so I just love, isn't that cool? You don't have to speak at your own funeral. That's a joke I made up the other day. Yeah, it's public speaking. Why is it public speaking? And if you think about it too, if somebody is imagining an idea or if they're communicating an idea, they're the top two rungs on the value ladder. These are the multi-million billionaires, right? And what are they doing at the end of the day? What are they in? They're in sales, right? And that's why sales pays so well. If you're a good salesman, you're a good communicator, you can get paid very well. And what do you have to overcome to become a great communicator, salesman? It's what Christine just said. You have to overcome the fear of rejection, right? So that's one of the main reasons that believers get scared to share their faith, because they're like, whoa, man, what if they ask, you know, well, what about Deuteronomy 8:16, and how does that line up with the dispensationalism of the last days? And you're like, what? I don't even know what dispensationalism means. And they're a non-believer and I'm a believer, you know? So it's just sales, fear of rejection. And so I have a point in this whole rant here, Stacy, okay? Because when you said reach out to 3 storage facilities a day, immediately what pops in your mind next when you're like, okay, I'm going to reach out to 3 storage facilities, like Stacy said. Immediately the next thought that pops in your head is, well, what am I going to say to them? And after that, the next thought that pops in your head is, well, what if they reject me? What if they tell me to like get lost, or they don't understand what I'm saying, right? And so what we need to do is, okay, the micro goal is I'm going to reach out to 3 storage facilities. I'm going to reach out to 10 RV owners. So to do that, you're going to talk to them. So what you would do to be prepared is you would have a script, right? You would have a simple script, okay? And we have scripts and we have stuff inside the Fireside Fast Start framework and different things that we publish and put out. But honestly, the easiest, fastest way for you to do that is to just put ChatGPT on your phone and just tell it what you're looking to do. That's the easiest, simplest way to do it. You can actually even create a knowledge base. I've gone into ChatGPT and I created a knowledge base for myself. It has my book, it has all my videos, it has everything that I could find that I created. I literally uploaded into that. And so it literally thinks like me. You don't even need to, it doesn't even need to be that complicated. You just say, hey, this is what I do. I want to reach out to a storage facility, want to partner with them. And then you could even ask ChatGPT. You'd say, hey, what questions should I ask you that I'm not asking you to make this the perfect script? So it literally will tell you what you don't know that you should be asking it to know what you need to know. And it's going to help you create a nice little script. And then you call the storage facility and you know, let them know what you're trying to do. And we've got some teachings and videos on that as far as reaching out to a storage facility. Usually you come from the opposite angle of you're not trying to ask them for the business. You're trying to interview storage facilities to see if you want to work with them, because something happens psychologically with people when you're calling around saying, yeah, I'm trying to interview storage facilities to find the perfect one to send my RV owners to. Now, all of a sudden in their mind, they have to sell you and they don't even realize why they're trying to sell you and why to partner with their storage facility. So anyway, Stacy, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's funny. So when we were at the Hershey RV show, my daughter Peyton, she's 11. She came with me the first day. And we had next to us was I don't even know what
Shakers?
no, the other
Another
one. It was like a eye cream, and they
Oh,
were,
like the skin tightener.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
really good salespeople. So she's watching them like hand out samples, and then in our booth, she decided she wanted to hand out pamphlets to people. So she's standing there and she's like, "Oh, would you like a pamphlet?" And then people would start saying no to her, and they'd walk away and she'd like give like a dirty look, like she would get so angry because they kept saying no. So that was a good teaching moment, because I was like, Peyton, like, you're gonna get no's and that's okay. Like, the more no's you get, like, then there's gonna be a yes behind there. And then like then every time, you know, she would kind of learn to like, oh, well, the older people, they'll always take the pamphlet. So just like learning the sales process and, taking the no's with the yeses, she learned a lot that day. So, it's just a numbers game. I know Gar said before, like, try to get, 10 no's. And then if you get those 10 no's, you succeeded for the day. And if you get a yes, great. But it's really just going to give you practice of, getting your pitch just right. And you'll end up making that right connection with the people that do give you that yes. On another note, like just when people are feeling overwhelmed, I know it's difficult because you just want to like get to the root of the problem and fix it, but kind of walking away from the situation, like I feel like I have my most creative ideas when I just walk away, go take a walk, listen to a podcast. So just kind of separating yourself from those stressful situations and clear your head before you react to anything.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Does anybody else get really good ideas in the shower? That's like where all my good ideas come. And that's the place where I don't have a phone. I don't have a pen. I don't have a paper. And then I get out of the shower and I forgot what my idea was. Yeah. I don't know. Well, why don't we do this? I mean, I've got a couple other things, but why don't we open it up and do like a little bit of a Q&A? Has anybody got, just to keep it organized, if you got a question you want to ask based on what we just talked about, why don't you raise your hand in the comments and then we'll just kind of go in order.
In the comments, where's that button? Christine just
Or in the
reminded.
chat.
Yeah, I'm about the nose. Christine just reminded me that when I was out mining Facebook marketplace for people selling RVs, I did have some that actually were a no and then came back later asking more questions. So a no may just mean not now.
It
So
means planting seeds.
yeah. So, and I
That's
have a
good.
couple of our current trailers that were originally no's, and they actually they performed pretty well. They got quite a bit more money than they had initially thought they would. So, yep, a no may just be not right now, or they need to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. And I love what Stacy said about, yeah, if you just have a goal, literally, I'm going to reach out to 10 RV owners a day. It's just that simple. Just have that simple goal. And you do that consistently. The law of averages, you're going to get yeses. It literally is that easy. And as you practice, repetition, Tony Robbins says repetition is a mother of mastery. So as you do it repetitively, and especially if you do it from a script, which I'm horrible at following scripts, but I'm a huge believer in scripts. But if you follow scripts, well, like our webinar that we did, it's, we have it scripted, but if you follow a script, it gets so much easier to know exactly, what you're saying, and that you're a lot more confident too when you have, the script of what to say and everything. Let me look in the chat here and see if there's any.
I don't know how to do raise your hand.
Okay, well, just go ahead. Go ahead.
I never could figure that out. I guess if we could, on one of the calls, what might be nice, because of course I've been in sales for, I don't even 20 some years with real estate, and I worked at MCI, Alltel, Verizon, all of that sales. But like in real estate, because I don't know if you heard of Craig Proctor. He's a huge real estate coach. He's like was the #1 person in the world for sales and
Yeah.
stuff. So I went through that coaching for a year. Of course, I didn't do everything, but he was big on time blocking, which was really hard, and consistently of your schedule is your schedule and you got to stick to it, And then also role playing is a huge thing in real estate, like because you're calling leads basically. And so we would role play in some of our coaching calls, like, hey, you're calling them because we got the lead through Facebook or however we got it. They're a seller or they're a buyer, and, we would role play, like pretend like you're the buyer or seller, or, the owner of the RV,
Mhm.
and I'm calling you, and then you
Yeah.
just go through the script or however you want to do it. And then everybody can not not really critique, but tips, hey,
Yeah.
maybe just say it in this way, or when I said it in this way, because I've been working with Mark on, because we just had a situation where I called a lead and it was the Class B. It was a bad day for me, so I probably shouldn't have made the call anyway, but I did. And I'm really one to blah, tell them everything under the sun. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And and also I had some information that I thought was correct, but it wasn't. So I learned that too by going over it with Mark and my husband, because Ricky was sitting there. He finally listened to me do a call. And he's like, he felt, like it's too much information, overwhelmed the person. Cause I'm the type of person that I don't want somebody to come back to me and say, you didn't tell me that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So we hashed it out, and I think I got it down now. I'm just gonna, hey, if you send them the information, to the link, and say, did you look it over? Because I called the guy back today, Mark, and he hadn't. I said, did you receive the emails or whatever? He said, yeah, I got them, but I haven't got a chance to look them over. And I was like, okay, when will you have a chance to look them over? And then I'm going to call you back then, because I didn't
Mhm.
want to blah him again. I just wanted him to look at the information and then ask me the questions.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, yeah, why don't you call me tomorrow and I'll look it over by then. So that's how that went. But
Okay. Yeah. Role playing definitely is very awkward, but Caitlin's over here shaking her head because I had Caitlin and Ben role playing uh, for a while with our franchise leads, and just so you guys know, one thing that I sent it to Stacy for her to look over, but I'm sure she'll like it as much as I do. There's this company that I think we're going to partner with. It's called StoryPath, where literally they can scan a QR code, they can text, and it will put them into a sequence of videos that explains the whole program. And it's like 2-minute videos. At the end of the video, it will literally ask them questions to make sure they understood the content. And then it will take them into the next video. And the cool thing about it is it's all done through text, and nothing has to be, it's all self-tracked. So like literally, if they don't watch the video in 6 hours, it'll text them a reminder. Hey, you're still on video number 2 to learn about the Fireside RV rental management program. Click it now to continue it. They watch it, brings them to the next video, and it walks them through the whole story path all the way through signing up. And we can do this for RV owners, for renters. I mean, it's on and on and on. And this was a technology that was only for like Fortune 500 medical companies. And I stumbled upon them and I made a donation to their nonprofit. It was like $50 I donated to this nonprofit. And the CEO of the company called me, and we might get to work with them now, where normally a little guy like us would be able to partner with a big company like that. But that'll really help because it'll nurture them and walk them right through the process. But awesome. Anybody wanna, I don't see any questions or anything in the chat. Anybody got a question you want to ask? Nobody, come on. We got to have more questions then. Okay.
we have lots of questions, but you'll be here all night.
It's all good. Well, does anybody
I
have
have
a
a
question
question for
about
you.
what we're talking about here as far as implementation and unification? Like this, if not, that's fine. I'll just share a couple more things. Let's see what that is. We're going to go till 9. So yeah, I'll share a couple more things. So the other thing I'd put in the message about implementation unification, I said, and the 80% rule. And sorry to pick on Dana again, unless she is in here, because I can't see everybody that's in here. This is something we talked about the other night. Was she's like, no, I am cleaning the camper. I need to know it's done to perfection. I need to know it's this. And something I learned years ago that really helped me in growing my businesses is if you can find somebody to do a job 80% as good as you, then it's time to hand it off. Okay. Because the truth at the end of the day is you'll probably never find somebody that in your mind can do it as good as you. They might actually be doing it better than you, but you're not going to admit it. You're like, yeah, they're all right. They're pretty good, you know. But so if you can find somebody that in your mind you say, wow, they can do this about 80% as good as me, then it's time to hand it off. Does that make sense? Stacy, you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that I struggle with. I like to do like all the things, and I feel like I'm the only one that can do it the right way. But
No comment.
um, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can definitely outsource. That's gonna free up your time, like I've said before, to do the things that are actually gonna matter in your business. And you can still oversee them. So, you know, if cleaning is a sore subject for you, you know, you're still managing those people. So you do an audit afterwards and make sure that everything is being done to your expectations. Because you don't want to let something go completely, because that could affect your reviews if things aren't clean and up to your standards. But yeah, just taking a step back, first having, you know, proper training in place so they know what your expectations are, then taking a step back, letting them do it. And then, you know, you can have things in place to audit them. So with cleaning, you know, having them do a checklist or take pictures so that you can check their work. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely important to try to outsource some of those items. I know before you had started talking about that, was it Josh? Did you have a question that you wanted answered?
I did. Mine was slightly off topic. That's why I didn't really push it, because I was just wondering in regards, is now a good time to start looking for RVs for next year? And if someone mentioned that early at the beginning of the meeting, I missed it.
No, so I used to always build my fleet during the off season. The only downfall of that is you could have people that would end up, you know, deciding come spring, like, oh, we sold it, or, you know, something happened and we no longer want to move forward. So we did have that happen, but it was, you know, maybe 2 out of 10 units, and then we were able to just transfer the reservations to something else. So as long as you know that going into it, you know, I'd still build the fleet, because come January, people are going to start booking for this summer. So you want to have, you know, those RVs available and up there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you know, and the thing that I love about that too is pain is the ultimate motivator. So when you have a unit that leaves the fleet and you have customers you need to get in other units, guess what? All of a sudden that week, magically you sign up 4 RVs when you haven't signed up 4 RVs in the last month. And Mark, didn't you have that with something with the air show or this or that, where and your RV broke and something, and you like hit the pavement, and you
Yeah.
went out and got a handful of RVs in like no time?
Yeah, we did, but it was the urgency.
Yeah,
So,
it was it's the urgency. Yeah. So, you know, I like to say the pain of like,
was
oh man,
painful.
we're in this situation, you know, and to even to go back to what we're talking about with the unification and implementation, the conversations that we had recently, you know, with Tanya and Mark and several franchisees, is it's typically the pain, right? Like,
Mm,
okay, this is painful. I don't want to do this anymore. Where you're like, then you start thinking, okay, what do I need to do? And that's pain is the ultimate motivator. You think about it for anything, weight loss, marriage problems, relation, this or that. When the pain gets so great that it's too painful to stay there, then you want to move towards pleasure of alleviating that pain. And what is that? That's basically what it comes down to, is you taking massive action. of whatever you're trying to do, fix your issue with your wife or get more RVs in your fleet or whatever the case is. So, unfortunately, that's just how we're wired, but, we'd love to be able to kind of help you guys and coach you guys as far as season 1 is done. Or for Stacy, like she said, season 2 is done now. She did it in season 2. Season 2 is done. Like, let's start building the team, because especially stepping into winter, it's so easy to get distracted with other things. And I know me and Adam have had some conversations about this, because Adam's got a business venture he's doing this winter, and it's a great business venture. But I was just encouraging Adam. I'm like, hey, that's cool, do that, but don't get too distracted, because at the end of the day,
Focused.
there's only so much time, there's only so much energy. There comes a point where we have to sleep and eat. You can defend yourself, Adam. Go ahead.
Well, now I'm behind the ball for my winter season because I stayed focused on my summer season. But no,
gotcha.
you're absolutely right. No, but you're absolutely right. Like there's no way I could focus on my fall and winter season with how busy we were this summer season. I mean, Labor Day hit and all of a sudden we stopped with a lot of the bookings, but for me, it wasn't like a panic, like, hey, we don't have any more bookings. It was like, what do I have to do tomorrow? Nothing? Okay. Maybe I can like take a nap or just play with the kids or whatever, because this summer was so incredibly overwhelmingly busy. It was crazy. Now I have time, a couple of weeks to figure out fall and then really launch this winter program.
Awesome. Oh, I got Ben's. I was gonna say something on that. Stacy, you want to comment on that? And then I'll look at my notes here, because I was gonna
Yeah,
say
I was
something.
just gonna say, I feel like that's kind of the advantage the seasonal branches have is, you are so busy for 6 months, and then you really have 6 months to take a step back and figure out where you need to work on your business. I always kind of took the off season to get my financials in order, look at who I need to hire, what stock I need to order for the following season, and really get that organized and ready so that when things get busy again, we were going to be able to handle it all smoothly.
What repairs you gotta get in?
Yeah, getting all the repairs done on all of the units that got damaged throughout our season. So, those are all things you can think about. Even if you're not seasonal, there's always downtimes in a business. There might be weeks or months that are going to be slower, like back to school. So just kind of think of that and think of how you can schedule things out for those slower periods.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's a thing called opportunity cost. Is anybody familiar with that term, opportunity cost? I like the wave thing here. Couple of hands. Opportunity cost is basically, what does this cost me to make this choice? So again, to go back to the implementation unification, okay, yes. And again, like I said, I don't want to feel like I'm coming down on everybody. Like, it's a lot of people first season, so you're doing a lot of the things. But next season, if next July I call you up to talk to you and see how you're doing, and you're cleaning a camper, then we might have an issue. Because opportunity cost means this choice that you're making, what is the opportunity that you're missing out on? So if you're next summer, if you're saying, well, yeah, girl, we're cleaning the camper because that's, $125 that I don't have to pay somebody else. Okay, how much time is that taking you to clean the camper? Let's say 2 hours. Let's say you dedicated that 2 hours towards calling 4 campgrounds that you could build a relationship with. What's the potential upside in you getting a campground partnership, or you're listed on their website and you're doing an event with them, or you get partnered with a festival? What's the upside of that in regards to the $125 you made from cleaning that camper? So does that make sense? That's what opportunity cost is. It's okay, yes, I'm doing this thing, but because you're doing that thing, there's something else you're not doing. And what you're not doing is you're not operating at the higher levels of the value ladder. And so it's just something to, as you start to think of things that way, right? I'm sure Josh, you probably think of this coming from a programmer background of, okay, yeah, but if we add this feature, what is that going to do here? What will that cost, or how will it make it faster or slower? Does it benefit the customer? Like when we could be working on this other feature, you know. Ooh, I got a hand raise. That's exciting. I get distracted very easy. Let me see here. Oh, Carmen raised her hand. Hi, Carmen.
Hello. So I was so today we Stacy and I and her family with Micah and my father, we went to the horse park here. And I had mentioned to her, I was like, you know what, I see myself managing, you know, the RVs and getting like really into it. And then we were brainstorming just while they were here, and also in phone calls and prior with you also, in regards to all the different types of events that are happening, that happen throughout the year. Even though like this is like a winter season that you have like off season, but in reality, like there's campgrounds that are open year round. There's the, you know, like the Kentucky park, horse park. Every quarter, there's a big event always happening,
Wow.
you know, so that's year round. And then you have there's I think it's Derby, I think, that does the spring, huh? Keeneland does the spring and autumn. So that's a big event. Like there's things that I'm thinking, oh, you know, maybe it's just for the summer, spring, summer, and not the winter. But in reality, it's pretty much all year round.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that is so cool that literally, like you said, you started thinking about it and talking about it, right? And your mind was focused on that, and you got excited, and then all of a sudden you start realizing, oh my gosh, there's opportunity everywhere. Like
right.
there's things that can happen everywhere. Yeah. That's so cool. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we, Stacy and I guess we got a lead, and Stacy had called first, and then just to do like an icebreaker training type, I said, you know what, let me call him personally. So she was right next to me, and I did it pretty much almost the same call, and just like got my first call out of the way, like the nerves.
Yeah.
And so he reached back out, and she was able to, he had so many questions that thank God that she was able to answer, because I'm be like, Stacy, we would have been on three-way. But thank you for the support, which is a big thing.
Yeah, anytime. I'm glad that I was able to be in this area and meet with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, and on that note too, Carmen, when you're talking to these leads, it's okay to not have an answer. Like, hey, you know, honestly, I don't know, but thankfully this is a nationwide franchise, and I can just reach out to my support team and I'll get you that answer. And, you know, so it's okay to not have an answer. It really is. The biggest thing is that you're out there having the conversations, because just you having that conversation, you learned a bunch of things that you didn't know that you should know, and now you know them for the next call.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You know, Stacy and I were talking about this earlier. Being in this area, there's a lot of money in horse, especially in this area. And I think if you guys, you and Joey, cater to the horse industry in this area, you could blow this, you could blow it out of the water with this branch.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in equestrian events. I'm sure some of the other locations have seen that already. I mean, even in our location, we saw that. So
Yeah. I'm going to get you a cowboy hat, Joey, with the Fireside logo on it. Okay.
Two.
Yeah. You got to create your, what is it? Your persona, you know? I'm Cowboy Carmen here, Cowgirl Carmen, you know? And
So with the Brooklyn accent, throw it.
cool. Thanks for sharing that. All right. Anybody else got a question you want to throw out?
Hey, not related to this completely, Gar.
Oh,
I had,
mute Eric. It's Eric. Mute him. Oh, I'm just messing with Eric. I'll unmute you. I like to mess with Eric. Oh,
hi, Gar.
okay,
Hey,
you're back.
I just wanted to follow up. I did actually get through a decent conversation with Rob Case this week, the CEO of RV Overnights.
Okay.
He would love to work with us. We were talking originally between like $10 and $15 a membership codes that we can resell. We can use them as promotional ideas. We can use them as like an add-on with our things. We can sell them outright if we want to. We came to an agreement of $12.50 a piece bought in a pack of 10.
Okay.
So you can get 10 RV overnight memberships, full year memberships for $125 up, like in a packet type. He'll give us 10 codes and we can resell them, give them away. We could do whatever we wish with them. They are beyond just being, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, sorry, I dropped off for a second there. But he was suggesting that, you know, like I said, we can resell them for anything up to his retail price, which I think is $29. So we can offer them at a discount, whatever. But you know, the big thing with that is we can use them maybe to get people that even have their own RVs in contact with us or potential franchisees too, just by saying, hey, look, give me a call and I'll give you a 1-year membership to, you know, to whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I don't know. I'll put it on the franchise family page, I guess, if anybody's interested. I'm working on setting everything up. I'll have a membership for you, I think, Stacy, tomorrow. And we'll put it out there and figure out how to get it started.
Awesome. That's cool. Thanks, Eric. Yeah, I've got a pile of business cards here still that I got to get into our system because I was talking to George in North Carolina earlier, and he was talking about parts, and he wasn't aware that we had Lipper and Dometic account, and then there's that rubber gasket steel products that you can order all the different rubber gaskets for all the RVs from, and so lots of good connections there.
I think the RV overnights is more than just the Harvest Host type thing too. I think they offer discounts through like, you know, Love's Travel Stops and, you know, that kind of stuff. They've partnered with a huge group of companies. So it could be something that if we market it correctly, could be good.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. All right. Well, hey, I'm going to put a link here in the chat. We were talking about like processes and systems. And some of y'all might, I'm sure Stacy has it somewhere, but there's just so much information to take in. This is a link to our team page on our website. So it's got like a cleaning checklist form for cleaners. It's got delivery pickup checklist forms. It's got all kinds of different forms on there. It's got a driver tote checklist. So literally like your drivers that are delivering campers for you, it has a checklist of all the things that they should have in their box for them. You know, a little jumper box, a little, whatever that size attachment is, Garth, for the stabilizers, a 3/4, whatever socket, you know what I'm saying?
19 millimeter.
What is that? 19 millimeter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, station. So it's, yeah, it's got all, there's a whole bunch of different things in there. Decker just said 90-day inspections. Yeah, with a bunch of exclamation points. All right, calm down, Jen. Are you going to talk to us? Oh, I heard your laugh.
I was giggling a little bit. It's like my pet. Do your 90-day inspections.
Yeah, those darn 90-day inspections. Cool. Well, it's 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. I'll say a prayer to close us out, and then we'll get our next meeting scheduled. Maybe Stacy, if you want to send out a little survey with several different topics, and then people can add to, and we'll see what we want to talk about next time. Sound good, y'all? All right. Father God, thank you for our time together tonight to encourage each other, to share our stories, to just do life, Lord, just community. Thank you for community, God. Just so thankful for all the people that have been part of Fireside for years and all the people that have just come in the last several days. I think, heck, we got Sam in here. He hasn't even signed his paperwork yet. So from people that have been with us for years and years to Sam that I'm going to go hang out with next week. And so, Father, I'm just so thankful for all the families represented here, all the entrepreneurials rented here, all the values and visions and dreams and hopes that are represented here, Lord. And just show me, Stacy, Jen, Ben, Mark, just show us how to serve them, how to serve each other, that we just know that we have a source and a resource in each other. And thank you, God, that we have you as the ultimate source and resource for all things spiritual and natural, Father. And we just give you the praise and glory in Jesus' name. Amen. All right,
Amen.
y'all.
Garr.
Have a good night. We will see y'all when we see y'all.
Night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night. Take a look at the moon. It's huge out.
Oh, is it? I'm gonna go outside and look at it. I was having
Yes.
fun seeing everybody say goodnight and click off, so I just kept listening. So you guys have to keep doing it though, because if you sit here, then I have to sit here, and I want to go put my kids to bed.
Good night.